Hey, welcome into the channel. I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for taking the time to join me. My name is Deborah. This is Purusha Intuitive, and we're going to be looking at the energy for today. So let's get into it. I hope that things are going well for you, despite some of the tension we have been facing lately. We have a lot of planets in retrograde right now. When I'm recording, these are always timeless messages, so if you happen upon them later and it resonates, then definitely take what fits. Spirit speaks to us in so many different ways, through so many different platforms. Time is just an illusion. I'm not trying to be all woohoo, but it is. Anywho, so, tension is starting to build. We had the new moon in Leo, and then Mercury went directly into retrograde. So we had the opportunity to kind of look at some things that we're trying to manifest, we're trying to bring into our life. And Mercury retrograde allows us to see where lines of communication have been broken down. Whether that's coming from people, situations we're dealing with presently, whether we're trying to maintain those situations or move on from them. We need to be aware. And I was thinking about this yesterday, like, what does it actually mean to be aware? Recognizing when things are coming up or things are happening with a person in a situation that leave us feeling weird, uncomfortable, off, drained, anything that's very negative and emotional. We need to look at those areas. And the challenge around this is because we have to be honest with ourselves about what something is. Are we receiving reciprocity? Is there a value of love and respect in the dynamic? It's never going to look perfect. It's never going to be that 50-50, right? But we know when something is supporting us and when they're just trying to bring us down, right? When they're operating out of anger, frustration, manipulation, hatred, whatever it may be. That's why I start with these energy cleansings. Set the tone, set the vibe for the reading, of course, but also as a way to remove these energies from our being, from our mind, body, and soul. Cleansing is a really good practice to get into. Even if you don't believe in all the woohoo, it really just sets the tone, right? It can be as simple as cleansing when you're in the bath or the shower. If you don't want to get into the ritual side of it, it's all about setting intention and having that belief that we are protected. We can't cancel out all the negativity. Unfortunately, I've tried. It doesn't work. We have to learn to live with it. We have to learn to dance with it. So with that in mind, we'll start this energy cleansing. It's a really good time to set your own intention as well. If you would like to receive specific messages around a situation from spirit or have questions, etc., this is a really good time to set that intention and to be open to receive. That was a long intro. Sorry, guys. I bless you with pure love and light, pure source energy, pure loving grace. Release anything that is blocking the highest and best messages from coming through. Fear, doubt, insecurity, lack of worth, lack of value, anger, frustration, impatience, annoyance. Cleanse it and remove it from us. Help us to be able to see clearly. Help to make me a clear and open channel for the collective. Thank you, Father God, Spirit guides, guardian angels, Mama Love. Okay, so I am hearing that there is a really strong foundation built. Like, you have a really good understanding of people, places, and things that are, you are more aware. Let's borrow that word from before. Oh no, my plant is falling over. Well, I kicked it the other day. We'll just put that guy down there. Oops. I kicked it. I think it was a little off kilter. Yeah, so that guy doesn't have a foundation. But yeah, so you do feel, okay, that's such a great analogy, right? There is this level of teetering, right? Like you have awareness, you have understanding, you see what things are. Maybe there's a part of you that doesn't want to believe it or acknowledge it. And that's that part of you that feels like it's teetering a little bit. Because when we don't want to acknowledge it, when it is painful, it's hard to see the truth. But we also are inviting in more imbalance, right? We're actually not allowing ourselves healing, like time to heal. And this is very important as well. What do I mean by healing? Healing is about our growth and our evolution. It's about seeing things for what they are and being able to learn from that experience, find wisdom. This is very important with Pluto moving into Aquarius. It will go direct in October, and we are right now setting the foundation for what we want our life to look like. So if you, for the next decade and a half or so, right? So if you want good things, if you want peaceful relationships, make more money, whatever, have a family, have children, bring in love, whatever it may be for you, now is the time to really learn where we are tripping ourselves up, the beliefs that we have in ourselves, how those are manifesting, and learn how to protect ourselves from those outside energies that are drawing confirmation of that lack of worth in, right? Reassess 100%. So, you know, right now, Neptune is in Pisces in retrograde, as well as Saturn. And it's making like the spirit world, the veil quite thin. We're seeing things about people that maybe we know internally, but now we're actually kind of getting validation, confirmation. They're saying something, they're doing something that it's like, oh, I did see that, you know, I did recognize that from before. And try not to take it personally. Yeah, 100%. Detach your energy. You don't have to be responsible for it, and you don't have to participate in it. A lot of times when people are moving in a shady way, they want to hide because they're getting something from you. It is kind of, sorry, but this is what I'm hearing. It is that succubus energy, right? Like where you are feeling like you can't let go, or you're constantly thinking about them or obsessing about the situation, or trying to figure out what's going to happen next, that type of vibe. And for sure, we want to be prepared. We want to have awareness. We talked about that already. At the same time, it is leaving a channel, an energetic channel of communication open between you and that person or that situation. And so, yes, 100% pay attention. We end up getting sucked back into that energy. We end up staying in that energy for longer than needs be. This break free message has come up twice in the blocked position. So there's something that you're not letting go of or having a hard time to. And this is a tough conversation to have with ourselves because we do have to be honest. We do have to be vulnerable. And that's difficult even with ourselves, right? Because there is pain and grief that is associated with what you're learning, right? Like what you have to clearly see. But this is the thing. Yeah, I mean, 100%. This spells it out. I love it. The cards never lie, right? It's conflict around where we're limiting ourselves. I think in life, it gets really easy to project blame onto other people. Well, they did that to me. This happened to me. They're an asshole. And yeah, for sure, validate yourself when people suck, 100%. At the same time, you are not the victim, right? And you still have to find ways to overcome. What is it saying about you that you're allowing that dynamic, that relationship in, and especially in the way that it's throwing you off balance so much? There is this level of remaining, that's what grounding means, right? To remain balanced, to be so strong within oneself that no matter what's going on around you, no matter what people are saying or doing, it doesn't move you in any sort of way. And I'm talking about this because in the astrology, the stuff that's going on right now, we do really need to be aware of what we're seeing, what we're sensing, what we're feeling, and then protect ourselves accordingly. Because there is this infiltration. There is this infiltration of, whether you want to call it low vibrational energies, just low vibey people, whatever. People who operate out of more primitive base instincts. There is this push, right? People are getting, they're feeling their ego hurt. I should say their ego hurt. They want this certain type of ego validation. And I'm hearing doubling down on what they've said about you or how they've represented you, the lies that they're saying, etc. They're doubling down in efforts to suck you back in. And if we let ourselves go down that road, whether it's mentally, physically, emotionally, we have to know where we have to stop, right? Where the journey ends for our own self. That's what this protection is all about. Calling yourself to a higher order, higher morals, values, living in a better way, a more balanced way, a more harmonious way, right? You don't have to be like some, whatever. I mean, I think we all try to be good for sure. I'm not saying you have to be a monk or a priest or a nun, holier than thou. It's not about that. It's about, again, approaching dynamics with the same love and respect that you would like in return. What we focus on, we enliven not only in ourselves, but in the people around us as well. And here's the thing, we have been seeing this on the regular. I'm going to start getting very annoyed. It is kind of frustrating because, we've been seeing this new beginning pop up. And what I love about this card is it is speaking to our spiritual power. I believe that human capability is so much more than what we've even touched. But we have a tendency to live in those more grosser layers of consciousness, that more primitive functioning, where when we dive a little bit deeper, we actually open up these portals of manifestation. Right now, the things that we're feeling and picking up around other people, it's not meant to hurt our feelings. It is going to be painful for sure, but it's meant to send a message to say, this is who this person is. This is what this dynamic is. And so, pay attention, right? Because that's where you do have the control, is being able to decide how far you want to go down that path. Yeah, Queen of Swords energy. I love it. Being super rational, non-emotional with your decision making right now. Queen of Swords is a total badass because she's able to not get emotionally involved. She's the one who can recognize the hurt and the pain, but say, you know what? This is still the best decision for me. It might hurt for a while, but there's other things down the road that are going to make me more happy and satisfying. And that's really where we're being challenged right now astrologically. Neptune is harmoniously aspected to Pluto. So we're being challenged to see the truth, right? It's right in front of us. And at this point, it is hard to deny. Chiron is square to the fortune point, however. And so there's this part of us that we're resisting the healing we know what to do, right? But there is this apathy, Four of Cups energy. There is this apathy. It's almost easier to stay engaged with the drama and the bullshit than it is to like heal and move forward. That's why it keeps calling us back in. You're assessing your options. You're trying to figure out, I think you're trying to hear yourself is what I'm hearing. You're trying to hear what you need to do, what your next steps are, but it's leaving you in this very emotional space of the what ifs. It's that energetic cording I was talking about earlier that is connecting you to the past, that spirit does want you to move on from, protect yourself from. Knight of Wands energy. This guy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, this guy has been popping up for us a lot, and it feels like an energy outside of us. It feels like someone or something that is re-entering or is trying to start something new again. Trying to see where you're at. That infiltration word comes to me again. Like I was talking about earlier, they're trying to infiltrate your peace, infiltrate that movement forward. Just as much as we make energetic connections, courtings with others, so do they make that back. So if they're obsessing and fixating, especially right now with that Neptune in Pisces, we are going to be able to pick that stuff up. But we have to know how to see the light. We have to know how to see our end of the tunnel, right? Like, this is just a stepping stone. This is something that you're experiencing right now to test you and challenge you, to push you to the next step. The more you engage, the harder it's going to be rational, to pay attention, to see how something is moving. Because I do feel like, they're setting the groundwork, they're setting the stage for something, this Knight of Wands. So be mindful with your interactions, be mindful with what you say, who you say it to, how you show up. Oftentimes less is better, not saying as much. Leave some things to the imagination. Yeah, I mean, and I think it makes sense. I think at the same time, Spirit's saying that you're healing from this, you're growing, you're evolving past this, and that's the blessing. But there's still a lot of focal point. I think there's expectation on both ends. Messages, communication coming in with this Eight of Wands. We just had the Lionsgate 8-8 portal, which is open for a period of time. It's heightened on, it's when Ceres, the star, Ceres is in alignment in the Leo constellation. And so it basically just amplifies that energy of manifestation, of happiness and fulfillment and moving towards that. And I do hear that you're finding a better balance within that. There is some more that you do need to detach from. We've seen that, right? Like not making sure that like the drama or the things that are meant to kind of loop you back in aren't overshadowing, aren't overtaking. Not only, like I'm hearing, yes, even just in your day-to-day, like stuff that you have to get done, stuff that you have to pay attention to, right? Yeah, get curious. Okay. I'm hearing this is attached to that awareness, right? About paying attention, being a little bit more investigative about how something or someone operates and shows up. That's going to give us more truth and insight. Things that we're taking personally right now are not maybe as they seem. So I'm hearing spirits asking us to like check back in, reassess, reevaluate. Don't just take it like, oh, they're trying to screw me over, they're doing me wrong. There might be some of that there because we are seeing that in the energy, but I feel like it's more of an intention tactic than anything else. It's more about, hey, look at me, without like just being an adult and saying like, hey, can we talk? That's how it comes through. Because I feel like this is very valuable information. This is valuable information that not only you need for your clarity to move forward, to break free and have this really powerful, beautiful new beginning. You're also healing the past, healing your ancestral lineage, healing what has come before you by the choices that you make, and therefore healing future generations. Like, that's so important too. The healing that we do for ourselves, it reverberates into the collective. So anything we can do right now is going to help the person next to us, the situation next to us. It might not mean that they act or behave how we want them to. Generally, that won't happen because they have to do that work within themselves, right? But we're also practicing this element of detaching, of living, ascribing to our higher moral value so we can be a strong person. So it's not about feeling weak and vulnerable and we don't deserve, but we actually have the courage to go after what we want. And that's what Spirit wants for us right now. Remember, we're setting the foundation, we're setting the groundwork for Pluto moving into Aquarius. And we have a lot of beautiful opportunities in front of us to imbue that energy with happiness and wish fulfillment and innovation, new beginnings, being creative. There's a lot of beautiful Aquarian energy that can manifest if we want to be aware, right? Like if we want to pay attention. All right, I will shut up. All right. Thank you so much for your time and energy always. I super appreciate you, especially if you've made it this far in the video. Definitely drop comments below. I love to hear if it resonates. I love to also connect, share a little bit of love and support with you. And yeah, I hope you have a fabulous day. I hope this reading helped. Lots of love and blessings your way.